Welcome to the Talk Shop.
But yeah, I'll be here till Thursday. So we're thinking Thursday at like
So
two
this
two
is
a.m.
okay. What your brother-in-law's place? So this is your
Yeah, yeah,
parents'
yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
His guest room. But
Where
yeah,
does
we'll
where does
be
he live though?
Hackensack, New Jersey.
Oh, I was thinking about I'm gonna go Hackensack
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
because here's one thing I know, right? When I saw the bed behind you, I was like,
Mhm.
okay, this dude is in a guest bedroom, and I know in New York City, a guest bedroom like in the city, that's a that's a luxury.
That's a luxury apartment. Well, no matter where you are, honestly, I'll be honest with you, his apartment is very, very nice. Like, it's in Jersey. He just moved here maybe a month ago.
Mm.
Very nice, very spacious. Yeah, this room is very, very nice. I mean, this is bigger than our master bedroom in my past apartment. Like,
Mm.
it's huge. So yeah, if I had known about this place before, I mean, apart from Marcus' job and how having to travel, like drive back and forth,
Mm.
that's the reason why we didn't look into like Jersey or anything like that. Because in Jersey they have some nice apartment
How far
complexes.
would it be to get from Jersey to Queens? Because she works in Queens. Well,
No, she
you
works in
used to, right?
Manhattan. She works in Manhattan
Oh, in
actually.
Manhattan. Okay.
Yeah. So she's theoretically close to here
Mm-hmm.
in terms of miles distance, but in
Mm-hmm.
terms of travel, going over the George Washington Bridge, traffic, it would probably take her a long time. And she goes in the evening, so she'll be
Mm.
going during rush hour. So it wouldn't be fun for her at all. And she drives. She doesn't never take the train, so it wouldn't have been good for her at all. But
Uh,
honestly, apartments here are very, very, very nice.
I was
So
gonna ask if she drives because,
she does. She does.
man, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I wouldn't take. I mean, you do what you got to do. Like
Yeah.
Amar used to take the over here, like the inter, like between Ajax and Toronto and stuff. There's like the GO train, which takes you around like all of Ontario,
Yeah.
and that's cool. It's civilized. But I
Hmm.
saw a video on Twitter. I
In the
think
last few days
did you send it to me or where did I see it?
of
Like
the
it is,
subway.
yeah. Of like, you know what I'm talking about?
I think it's Pride Week, so there was a. Well, I don't know what the video. The video I saw was like a man doing. They were doing like BDSM on the train.
Yeah, exactly. That's the video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, okay, so there's different things. So let me just explain to everybody. So in New York City, in the city, the subways life is like very like interesting. There's always something must always happen, and there's
Hmm.
always something that goes on. So what the video was talking about was on like on the subway. I don't know what line it was, but it was on the subway. So that's actually Amaka would never take that. Actually, I take the subway to work when I go to work.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I see that kind of stuff all the time, like the
But
people
this,
dancing on the train, people singing,
like,
and stuff
different
like
things
that.
happen in New York, but this was
Yeah,
wild because this woman was basically
was
naked and
naked.
in a
Yeah,
thong. She just
yep,
had like, I guess tape on her
a
nipples,
boob. Yep,
and this dude had a whip, and he this guy he didn't he just took off his shirt, I guess, and
yep,
he just had a whip, and he was just whipping her. And she's like, Carter.
yep.
It's just
Wild stuff you see. Wild stuff. I ain't gonna lie. Um, and then there's the Long Island Railroad. It's pretty civilized,
Mhm.
and then the Metro North, which is also pretty. So those Metro North and Long Island Railroad go to the suburbs, and then the subways, Manhattan,
Mhm.
Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Staten Island. So, but yeah, no, it would have been difficult for us to live here. Even Brooklyn, I was every time I keep asking, I'm like, why didn't we look into anywhere else but Queens? And it's like logistically, with everything going on and the traffic and the not wanting to drive too long, Queens was the best. Because initially, remember, I used to work in Long Island, so
Mhm.
Queens made the most sense. If we moved to Jersey and I worked on Long Island, I wouldn't have been able to work in Long Island. So it was just convenience at that point. But
Well, they're gentrifying the hell out of Brooklyn too, right?
yeah, so certain parts of it, and they have some good, nice apartments there too. So I mean, but yeah, this place is very nice. Like I ain't going front, but it's and the same cost as what we had in Manhattan. And what he had like is a very big apartment, nice small
Mm.
windows, like ceiling to floor windows, very open living room space. So very, very good. So
That's
yeah,
that's interesting.
this bedroom is pretty nice. They decorated it so hotel like.
I can see the little plant
The
behind
plan
you.
behind, and
It
I don't
gave
know if you can
hotel
see.
vibes.
You can see the stack of three books there. Books on finance. I don't know who he thinks is going to read books on finance, but they're here for you if you want to read it. And then he has a little bit of office space here too, which is where I'm going to probably work while I'm here.
That's
Um,
cool, man.
so
That's
yeah,
cool.
it's nice. But man, this week has been so far ahead.
Mhm.
Like if you guys noticed, we didn't really post too many social media stuff when the episode came out this week, was because pretty much I had no time to do my usual social media stuff, and we barely even had time to record on Tuesday because I was in the middle of moving and packing. So I
Yeah,
apologize. That's not gonna happen again. I'm gonna do my best to get everything I have to do done before I start my drive on Thursday. um,
so like I'm still like lost for words because like when you, I knew deep down in my head, I knew you were going to drive
yeah,
for like to where you're moving to, which
yeah,
shall be disclosed at a later time.
yeah.
But I was like, even though I knew it and I knew it could take a long time, my brain like once you wrote 16-hour drive, I was like, fuck.
Yeah. So I mean, it's we're moving. I will disclose where I'm moving to, but it's pretty much a 16-hour drive, and yeah, it's wild. Honestly, I think. Well, to be honest with you, driving to my sister's graduation in 20, I want to say 14 or 15, it was a 16-hour drive also to Iowa, and it was a whole like bus full of my relatives and stuff. So that's the longest I've done. I mean, I didn't do it all the way on my own. I mean, I
Mm,
had help, but for the most part, of the 16 hours, I think I did 12 on my own, maybe.
wow.
Definitely coming back, I did 12 because coming back, everyone was tired.
How many stops though?
We went all the way through, but we stopped like for gas and for to rest up maybe three times because ideally you need probably three fill ups to get all the way.
Mhm. So
You
you only stopped like for
for
gas.
gas, yeah, it was there's no
So like at a stretch, like how long would you drive?
at a stretch you would drive maybe 4 or 5 hours. Four
Wow. Okay.
hours, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's not
Uh,
terrible.
it's not because like I've driven from here to Montreal with like once, but that was a 4 hour drive and we did like a food stop because we're hungry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
exactly. So that's pretty much what it would be. I mean, we would when we're leaving here, the plan is to leave at like 2 a.m. in the morning
mhm,
and try to get past the West Virginia, the DMV area before
mhm,
6 a.m. because the thinking is that if you enter that area when it's rush hour,
mhm,
forget about it. You'll be in traffic forever. So we kind of want to escape the DC, Maryland, Virginia area before 6 a.m. Once we do that, we should be home sailing. So,
mhm,
yeah, I mean, so in this trip, I've been looking at the map, and it's like the first maybe 200 miles is like a stretch of 40 miles, a stretch of 50 miles, stretch of 50 miles. So that's already 150 ish miles. And
mhm,
then there's a small stretch of like 30 miles, and then the big 241-mile stretch. That's
mhm.
3 hours on its own already. So I think so we're going to try to eat all that up in like 6 hours or something, and then I'll probably take over, hopefully, and then there's another 200 and something mile stretch. I was just trying to plan it,
Right,
accordingly. Probably
right.
get my 5 hour energy on, my Red Bulls on, blast music, blast podcasts. Thankfully, I mean the reason I'm glad we're leaving in the morning because I'm probably not going to drive at that 2 a.m. I'm probably gonna
Right.
drive during the day because I don't want to be tired. So I'll probably sleep while the was driving the first part of it. And
So what? Why? Okay, are you guys pack like? Are you taking a lot of stuff with you? Like you still
we
have?
are
I know you
so
moved a lot of your stuff,
yeah.
but you still have some stuff that's why you're making that drive.
And the car, the New York car. I mean, we
That's
weren't we
true.
weren't gonna spend the thousands of dollars additional to ship the car. And when you ship a car, they don't really let you put too much on the car for weight reasons. Um,
Hmm.
so we pretty much, and it's just I mean it's just cheaper and easier, not easier on body, but just generally logistically thinking about it, it's easier to
Right.
just drive the car. So but
See,
yeah,
this is
it's pretty much
where,
full. The back seat and the trunk is full of
yeah,
stuff. So
this is where Chimdi and I differ greatly. Like we agree on most things and we think the same on a lot of things,
yeah.
but like this transportation thing, fam, like it actually stresses.
You would chip your car. You wouldn't drive it.
I'd ship the car.
But
Yeah,
so what's
I understand it's not that logical.
what's
I
the longest you've driven on your own in a stretch?
literally the drive to Montreal like four
And
hours.
that was all you
Like
driving?
what? That was all me.
Mm-hmm.
And like, did we even on the way back? We didn't stop. So like, literally, that was like 4 hours straight.
Mm.
Like it's the most. But like, that's I can't actually even imagine it because I've never done anything further. I never had any reason to. Like people are like, "Oh, we drove to New York." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Fam,
you
that's your
see, like
business."
us, remember back then we used to drive. I've driven that New York to Buffalo, New York to Toronto drive many
Mm,
times. So it's not.
mm,
I mean, that was then. I'll be honest with you. Right now, I'm so old that sleeping while I'm driving is not is in the realm of possibility. So I have to be very careful when I do this. But generally, it's not too bad. Like I personally, have always been a traveler that likes to like section out their trips. So I'll plan on my podcast. I'll see. Okay, I'm going to listen to this and this and this, and I'll probably by the time I'm done with
mm,
this, I'll be at a good destination to make a stop and then continue. And then obviously
mm.
with two people being there, it'll be cool.
Yeah,
I'm thinking we can probably beat it down to like 14 and a half hours if we if we drive with urgency. I mean, hopefully,
y'all are two Negroes trying to like drive
yeah.
urgency. Fam, take it
Still, I
easy.
mean, personally, I don't. I try to stay within the 10 mile per hour above speed limit range, so that if I'm
Mm.
stopped, it's still within legal range. Um, but I don't know,
Where you guys are going, better go on. Better stay
man.
right on this.
That's true. I mean, I don't know how it is over there, but yeah, we're gonna have to be careful. But we should be good. I mean, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. So,
Yeah, it's just for me. Like I think part of it is like growing up, my knees. Like I can't
yeah.
like it's rough on my knees.
Mm-hmm,
Like being in one position for a very long
mm-hmm,
time. I always need to stretch and like so I can't physically imagine
mm-hmm.
like
See, but the good
being
thing
in a
about the
car
only, I
for that
mean,
long.
obviously, it's not a good thing, but like, I think the uncomfortable nature of it ensures at least you don't sleep. At least you won't you'll be
Mm,
feeling the pain and you won't like doze off. That's the issue that sometimes I have is that if I put on the light, so the AC, and I'm listening to like music, I mean it's just a straight road. Sometimes you can get like you can just like seem like you're not doing anything really, and sleep can take you over. But I mean that's why I mean especially if you're driving at night, so definitely gonna avoid doing that. But yeah, I mean I'm just looking forward to it just being a quick, smooth ride, 16 hours.
yeah,
So
that
leave
makes
at
sense.
2 a.m. Hopefully get there by like 6 p.m. That shouldn't be
Mm,
too bad. A lot of daylight all the way. Shouldn't be too bad. So
man, when Amara was so she had to do a 3 month was it 3 months? Yeah, 3 month rotation in
hmm
Houston as part of her doctor of pharmacy.
hmm
And they were trying to figure out, okay, like she'll get like her parents, they have a place there. So it was like she had a place to stay, but they didn't have like they have a car, but they were like, okay, should we get her a car there? Rent like long term rental didn't really make sense, all that stuff. So they made the decision, okay, we're gonna take one of the cars from here,
hmm
like and
drive it
drive
over.
from Calgary, like
Jesus.
Alberta, Canada, to Houston, Texas. Like I don't even remember. I think they broke it into like
2 days.
2 days or 3 days or like they did an
Yeah.
overnight. I'm like, because that drive is
Yeah.
mad. Like I don't. I'm even. I'll check even
Curious
Google
how long
Maps
this
now.
is.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, because listen, when they told me that because she was doing like they were doing long stretches like in that car and I don't even know how like and I think it's worse not being a driver
32 hours.
because
Jesus is fucking Jesus Christ. I didn't even expect to see
32,
that. They must have
32
done it in three
hours.
days. There's no way.
I think they did.
There's no
I think they did do it
there's
in
no
3 days.
way you're gonna do that in. That's wild to do that in. God,
Yeah, I think they did it in 3 days. There. Now that you say it, and of course her parents flew back because
of course.
she had the car and
Oh, she
everything.
drove down with them also.
She was like they drove her, her and her brother were in the back, chilling while they were doing this drive, and she said she was just bored stiff.
Damn, I can't even imagine driving to places like through places like Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico. Wow, that's a drive
Yeah,
and a half, man.
not me, fam. You will not catch me doing anything like this.
You should
Nah.
drive from Ontario to Regina or something. I don't know. God damn. Nah, that's a lot. Even me, I'm like, nah, that's wild. That's double the drive I'm about to do. That's wild.
Yeah,
That's
that's
wild.
that's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, that's the least part of my worries. Honestly, bro, moving is the worst experience in the world. So I'm just gonna give you guys a kind of a breakdown of my experience. So we were scheduled. We had booked like maybe 2 3 weeks ago. The moving truck. Normal. Do normal Google search, see who's movers, whatever. All the estimates we got were all like 5,000, 6,000, whatever. This one group gave us like $2,600. Oh shit, nice, whatever. Book it all, whatever, whatever. Come that day now, they get there and the truck they brought doesn't have enough space for all our stuff. They underestimated how much we had in general to begin with, and they sent a truck that was kind of half full. So the options was either he goes and dumps it and comes back, or they send someone else, or he tries to come back the next day. So turns out that I don't know what they did, but they ended up booking someone else, like a local New York company, to do it rather than send back their people the next day. Anyways, long story short, so that means Thursday we had no movement, nothing. We've already packed everything, pretty much our bed, all our bed linens, everything. So we pretty much slept on a bare mattress. We had already taken down our window, like the blinds, the curtains.
Damn.
So we slept,
Just
yeah,
sunlight, just
slept
hitting you.
on with no, we kept the living room, the bedroom lights dark and everything. Thankfully, you can't really see inside, but like it was terrible. So yeah, come Friday now, the new people come. First of all, they come a little bit
Hmm.
late. Secondly, there's a bunch of like Hispanic guys, real like New York like Hispanic guys, a little bit rude, very brash. They came upstairs and they were like, "Oh shit, your stuff is much more than we expected." We have a truck with 1,400 cubic feet, and we're probably gonna have to
Hmm.
sell you the whole truck space so we can be comfortable and whatever. And that came out to like, based on the pricing we had, that came out to like $4,800 or something for just the truck space. Then he started saying,
Okay.
"Oh, there's probably going to be other things because we have to wrap certain things a certain way. We have to dismantle the bed, all that kind of stuff." And we're like, all these charges were never told to us. We never knew we were going to have to do all that. Everything was supposed to be covered in it, all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Anyways, we have arguments. We now told them, okay, fine, let's figure out what's good. We'll call the company and figure out what to do. The company calls us back and says, "Look, there's nothing we can really do," and that to make it even a little bit worse, the manager for those people are saying that the actual total cost would be $8,000 after all the extra fees they're gonna have to charge for like wrapping the couch and wrapping the freezer, stuff like that. And then we're like, "That's nowhere near anything that we discussed. There's no way that
Right.
that's the case. Like you can't, like that doesn't make any sense at all." So they're like, yeah, so we canceled it pretty much, and so we had to now like scramble all afternoon, calling different places, trying to find the best deal and who will come that day because we didn't have an option to like move on a weekend. Buildings in New York
Hmm.
City don't allow you to move during the weekends because they rationalize it that everyone that lives in the building is probably going to be home during the weekend, so they will only rather you move during the
Mm.
weekdays when some people may be at work.
So you can't
The
use service
elevators may
elevator
not
and stuff
be
like that.
fully used, so you can. We don't have a service elevator. We have two standard elevators on each side,
Mm-hmm.
and they only block out one for moving. So and it has to be during business hours. So after 5 o'clock, you can't even block it out. So we had to pretty much find someone who will come in around 2, 3 o'clock and hopefully be done by 5. We found people that could come, and we still end up paying an arm and a leg like 6K, which in retrospect now we thought because we referred them to my uncle who moved, Amaka's uncle who moved yesterday, also to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you call it? He was able to haggle down his price from $7,400 to $5,000, and we didn't realize that we could haggle down our price. You know,
But you
yeah, we
referred
referred him.
him.
So
Oh, no,
so
wow.
we paid full price. Meanwhile, he was able to get like a discount on the spot. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if we had pushed back and said, "Oh no, our budget is $5,000," what can you do for us? They would have, because these people, they were actually very nice. The people that we called.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, they ended up
Right.
coming around 3:30. By the time we were done with the move, it was like 8:30 p.m. It was a long day, like very long. And then we now had to stay to like clean up and like, organize everything that was left, put things in the car and drive to Jersey in traffic. So it was like, honestly, it was one of the worst days I've ever had in my life, honestly. This whole weekend I've driven so much, I've done so much, like my back is killing me, everything. The whole moving experience in New York City. I don't know if maybe it's just New York City. Maybe that's not
Mm-hmm.
how it is everywhere. Probably not. I imagine that's probably the case. It probably is only a thing that occurs in New York City in terms of how intense it is, how many restrictions you have in like tall apartment buildings, things like that. They're so strict about everything. You have to provide a certificate of insurance to the building to them to
Mm-hmm.
approve, so that the people that are coming to move have adequate insurance coverage, things like that. So that was kind of thing I was scrambling between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. to have them create a COI and send it to me so that I could share it with the building and then get it approved before they could even move. So everything just seemed to be working against us, for this move. But anyways, ended up happening at the end of the day. So we thank God. We're out of New York.
I'm scared of moving, man. Like not for just even. I mean, our house is a freehold. Whatever, you can do whatever you need to. Come pick our stuff. We'll sign a waiver
Yep.
and move on. But like, I'm even thinking because so let me say, how do I say this without getting in trouble? Amara has this like, I'm more chill about moving out of this house. Right. Amara's like, look, like we gotta like she likes it, but she's more of a
Yep.
planner
Yep.
than I am. Let me say. So she's got like, you know, in a year we should be doing X. In 2 years we should be doing X. Right. And so part of that includes, we would have been in this house next year 5 years,
Yes.
which in my head is like I remember when I showed was
Bro, I
showing
was
you the
about to say
place,
5 years ago. Shit,
that it feels
that's
like
crazy. Yeah,
yesterday, right?
exactly.
Like so, I get it. It's a long time, right? And the plan was to scale up at some point, but in my head, I'm like, I'm comfy,
Yeah.
I don't need to do anything. Like, but I also agree with the plan, but I'm also comfy at the
Yeah.
same time. So, but part of it is I can't. I'm looking at this house, right? I'm like, how
Oh my god, get the
on
shit out of here.
earth are we gonna pack all of this stuff?
Yep. Yep.
I can't. My brain cannot like just calculate because we've actually amassed
Yep.
so much stuff. Half of the stuff is going to be
Yep.
thrown out
That's
probably
that's the thing you don't
or
realize is that,
something.
first of all, for me it took, I mean, before Amaka even came, I already like cleared my own stuff and threw away some stuff and gave away some stuff. Then when she came, like, you don't even know where things are coming out from, you know, and you're gonna throw most of it away. So you're like just stacking up like garbage bags of like clothes and things you haven't even
Mm-hmm.
worn, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy. Things come out of the woodwork, and you have to now make decisions. Do I keep this? Do I not keep this? What do I do? So it's wild, man. It's a very very tough process, and I can only imagine when you have a house with several rooms and like different things. You don't even know what you put in different places. Once you start saying, "Okay, I want to move," where do I even begin from?
Exactly.
Where do I keep the things I want to put
Mm-hmm.
apart? Because by the time we were done packing everything, the whole apartment was full of like boxes. So there was barely room to
Mm-hmm.
like do anything else. So
Mm.
it's crazy, man.
And that's where you find things that like
Yep,
you've been looking for. You're like, oh,
yep,
I put it here. Wow, I
yeah,
was smarter than I thought.
yeah,
Shit.
exactly. Or I mean, honestly, when they lifted up the couch, the amount of things in there, and when you have babies and kids, the things that Kaima puts underneath the couch, it's just messy, nasty. That's one thing.
Mm.
If you don't clean like certain areas often enough, to be a mess by the time
Mm.
they. So that's one thing that we're like, no matter what we do, well, first of all, trying to be as minimalistic as possible going forward. No
Mm.
accumulation of shit. No hoarding, no nothing. Everything has to be as bare
Mm.
as possible, as clean as possible. You know what I'm saying? Keep
That's important. Yeah.
like shelves, like tables and stuff like that. Nothing too cluttered on them. Oh, by the way, I got my new table and stuff,
Mm.
and my new pod mic and my webcam and my headphones, stuff like that. So
Oh,
I
you
bought
bought all
everything.
that stuff
Everything's
already?
already on its way to the location.
Well, send me a link
Yeah,
of the mic
okay.
that you got.
Hopefully it works well.
'Cause-
But it had good reviews, and I've had it in my cart for a long time.
yeah, because I'm thinking of replacing the one. You know, the
Yeah.
nice one that I had. It's not giving me the sound quality I want. So I talked to Aziz. By the way, he's the CEO, I think CEO
Mhm.
of Braided Media. He's one of the OGs of Braided Media, for which we are a
Yes,
part of,
sir.
and he's giving us some good recommendations that we're going to put into effect. So you guys will be seeing that real soon.
Yeah.
Real soon.
Did he tell you what it was? Did he give you the
Yeah,
thingy?
yeah. It's a Rhoda Pod mic. So Rhoda, you just got a shout out. We want run us our check. We're ready for it.
Pod
We're ready for it.
mic. Rode.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
send
I
it
just
to you.
sent you the one I have. I got
Nice.
a Rhoda pod mic. R road like road. Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks nice. Yeah, but the one I got, I mean, it's good reviews and stuff, and yeah, podcasting, YouTube, gaming, the headphones. So I will see. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see if it
Nice.
how it looks when it comes and stuff. It wasn't too expensive, like $100 for everything. So
Everything,
yeah,
$100. Yo,
I sent
run
you.
me that
I sent
right
you the
now.
link on
On
WhatsApp. Yeah,
WhatsApp or
so
what? Okay, it hasn't come
yeah,
through.
I don't
So
know. Things are
let me
delivering
see.
very slowly over here, but but I
All right.
hope.
Well, oh, I got it. I
I
got it.
actually hope that this thing actually has comes with the arm because I'm not seeing that it comes with the arm. Hold on,
I'll check
let's
this
see.
out. I'll check this out.
Come on, play. Yeah,
So
man. But
while we talk about this, you want to talk about okay, because you've been away from
long
Kaima for a
time,
bit
too
now.
long, brother, too long.
How long is that? Like three
So
weeks, a month?
I've been away from Kaima for up to a month now. I think I came back to New York. I can't remember what day, but yeah, it feels like it's been a month. I'm sure it's been a month now, and I still won't see her for another week or so, like till the end of this week. So it's like I was talking to Amaka. She's like she's been around. She's like I don't even know how she doesn't know how I've been doing it because she would have been like freaking out if Kama wasn't with her. And now that
Mm-hmm.
she's not been with Kaima for the last week. She's feeling it. I'm like, man. I mean, I just try to not like think about it too much. Not feel too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, it's like every time I see her on Facetime, it's like something new has happened. She's doing something different. Growing up so
Mm-hmm.
quickly, and it's like, wow, I'm missing all this after being there from her birth. Being in quarantine and spending every single day with her. Now to like missing
Mm-hmm.
1 month. It's crazy. It's very, very, very painful, but it is what it is. You know.
I can imagine how
Yeah.
tough that is. Like,
The-
I mean, for me, I haven't had to deal with that quite yet. Interestingly, I missed a lot more times before COVID because like I
Yeah.
was traveling for work a lot, and I remember having like this feeling at the back of my head, like, oh man, like am I becoming that dad who's just like never
Yeah.
around and stuff? You know what I mean? Like just from the movies and stuff. And then because Amara would be like telling me all these things that were happening, or I noticed he was a bit more like closer
Yep.
to his mom and stuff. But like ever since like COVID, like quarantine, fam, like me and him are
Honestly, I think
best
that's one of the
friends.
best things
Like
that's
it's
happened.
crazy.
Like I don't know if
Hmm.
none of us would have had this much time to spend with our kids if we were if we didn't have the quarantine and the lockdown. I don't think we'd have spent as much time with the
Hmm.
children as we have. So I'm very very grateful for it. Honestly, that I could spend all this time with him.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry, with Kaima.
it's definitely for me a very net positive in that respect. That like I'm just like kind of like what you're going through right now. In my head, I'm like, if I had to go a month without this kid, like, what would that? How would I even feel? Because, like I said, I'm his best friend. Like,
Yep,
it's me and him are like tied at the hip
that's
all
good.
the time. So I can't even imagine what it would be like. I drop him off at school, I pick him up from daycare. As a result, I'm the one who starts his feeding and stuff like that. Um, but and like he's starting to do things that like he wakes up in the morning and he goes, "Mommy,
Mm,
Daddy," like
the
which
best
like
thing.
oh we're just like okay like he's gotten to it where
Yep,
like he's saying it on his
yep.
own, and it just makes
So
you
good.
feel so good that if I wasn't
Exactly.
here for that,
See, I
like
mean,
oh
it's good
man,
because
that would break me.
I feel the same way because like even this time we've been the last week Amaka has been here. In fact, the last 2 days she's on the phone. She'll like say "Dada, hi, mommy, hi,"
Mm.
deal on the phone. So it's
Mm.
like just little things,
Mm.
just the little changes that are already happening. Like you know, without us being there and stuff, it's incredible. Honestly, the whole effect of daycare. Like I didn't realize how transformative it would be for her to like be around other kids and do other things, like learn with other kids. I didn't realize how
Mm.
transformative it is. So like it's crazy, especially when you have. And one thing I can say about Kaima, my child, is that she picks things up very quickly, like extremely quickly. Like
Mm.
sometimes it's very very like very very like shocking how quickly she picks things up. So
Mm.
like that's one thing that always impresses me about her. It's crazy.
Mm. Yeah, daycare is a godsend. Like not just for the time that it lets you have, but like even like I think I mentioned he when he wasn't
Mm.
feeling too well, and even after that, his just eating habits just kind of like
Yeah.
became out of whack, and it was very frustrating. But the same day he went back to daycare, they showed us a video of him like sitting there
Yeah.
and feeding himself,
So
and I was
that's
like,
I
"What?"
think one thing also that we've noticed, and I think something we're going to try and get better at. How often do you guys eat like meals with him on the table?
We started so
Mm-hmm.
since that episode, we started doing it like pretty much so either every meal or so he has his own like
Mm-hmm.
today we like
Mm-hmm.
today for example we ate on the table for lunch on dining table, but he has
Yeah.
his own like mini setup,
Yeah.
like mini table. So like what we do
Mm-hmm.
mostly is we sit him down there, and then I bring a chair and I
Yeah.
sit next to him, and like we kind of eat around this table because it's a bit more complicated for him to sit on like he doesn't sit on the high
Oh,
chair
okay. It
anymore.
doesn't
He's
have the
like
high
screw
chair
that, I
anymore.
don't want
Okay.
that. Yeah, like he
Okay.
will kick it off. Like if you try and put him in it, he's like struggling. He's like no. So like he prefers like put a little cushion or sit him on like the
Oh,
regular chair
okay.
like a big boy. But
Mm-hmm.
because it's still unsafe, I
Yeah.
put him on his small table
Yeah.
and then I sit next to him. And I
When
notice
you are
he'll eat
eating,
better
yeah,
if I'm
exactly. I
sitting
think
next to him
the
and eating.
communal eating that they do makes them eat more. Like when they do things together, they do more. Because I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, you never hear from her teachers that she's not eating at school, even if she's I mean picky with the main meal. She will always eat like fruit or something. So they never say that she's not eating, but
Hmm.
at home she can be really like finicky with food. So we realized that maybe okay, we should actually try
Hmm.
to start having meals at mealtime with her. But it's difficult on the weekends, and I don't know, Sha, but we're definitely gonna try to do it.
sometimes you're not hungry, right? And
Yep.
like she has to eat at a certain time, and you're like,
Yep.
don't feel like doing this right
Yeah.
now. I want to watch TV or something. But yeah, like to me, even if
I
it's
think
like
breakfast is the
something
best time
little,
to do it. But the thing is, breakfast is never
yeah,
for Kaima at least is not a meal that she has issues with ever. It's dinner she usually has
mm,
issues with.
mm,
Like dinner, depending on what it is. When
dinner,
it's actually food, because again, breakfast is probably like oatmeal or pancakes or waffles or eggs and sausage. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
But when it's like vegetables and meats, then we have issues. And then but she eats eggs.
Does
Yeah,
she eat
she eats
eggs?
eggs, sausage,
You can't give
eggs,
PJ eggs.
waffles. Oatmeal is her best meal. You know, she's an oatmeal eater. But oatmeal has to be loaded though. You can't just give her plain oatmeal. It has to be blueberries or
Mm,
banana or something in it.
mm,
So she's
mm.
it's but something we're learning, man. And
You can give PJ oatmeal, but bacon, he'll eat that thing from now till tomorrow. He loves it. But egg, he'll like like he was like he just won't do it.
yeah,
He
it's
won't.
crazy. But it's a
Yeah.
good thing to observe really, and I'm trying. I really want to use this to be this opportunity to learn a lot about like each other, and we're going to be moving to a new place, start doing different things together. You know what I'm saying so.
hmm It's you like where you're moving to is going to be probably, I'm assuming, more
Oh yes,
opportunities to do
yes, we
things
literally
outside,
live
and
opposite a park, like the one of the biggest parks in the state. So it's gonna be
hmm
really, really good to we'll do
yeah,
eventually said biking and stuff like that. And, just visiting the park,
hmm
picnic stuff like that. That's the plan. You know what I mean? And even if we don't necessarily
yeah,
do that, our apartment complex community is very, very vast, and walking around it will probably be good for us. And going to the pool, going to the pool house. So just looking forward to doing more activities with her. What I really can't wait to do um, is teach her how to swim, because that's one thing that
hmm
I'm very big on. And the last time we took her to when we went to Mexico that time, and she was behaving very, very upset. You know, I didn't want to enter the water. I was very, very sad. Very sad. I really wanted to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
They have like these swimming
They
lessons for
do, and
kids. Like
I want to
it might be worth that.
kind of teach her on my own, but I probably, if I have to, I will employ I'll send her to part like Dika again. I don't
Because you'll still go to those lessons though. Like
teach your
they're
kid.
actually
Okay, I
teaching
see.
you how to teach your kid. That's like it's like a group thing. Like you're all in the pool. Like parents, like one parent and the kid, and like they're like, okay, do this and do that. And like so you still be like the one kind of
Yeah.
overseeing
So,
everything.
um, I mean, I can't wait to do that. Honestly, I think it's gonna be a very good bonding experience. And I mean, again, if it's in a class setting, she may learn better. So, you know, we'll see how that goes.
hmm
But I'm really looking forward to the whole. This
Yeah.
is starting afresh. New York is so limiting. At least you have enough space to do things. Where we move. So
hmm
I don't know. Honestly, I'm just over New York. Like New York is tiring. Like tiring.
I can see that. I
Living
can see
anywhere in
that.
the five boroughs is like if we lived in Long Island or something, I'm sure maybe I wouldn't have had any issue. But just New York City is
Mm.
just it's draining. Like I don't know how, but some people love it. But if you don't if you're not a city person and don't like that chaos, it's
But like a lot of people love it up to a point, right? Like the energy that they get from it, like it dies after a while, right? And then you're like, you know what? I'm at a point in life where I need to like pick and choose when I want to go out, how I want to go out, what type of transport I want to use. Like New York is like it is. It just is what it is, and you accept it for what it is, right? But there's not as much freedom to
yeah.
just be you, I guess. Um, in New York, in Toronto is fairly similar. It's why like where we live, it's very relaxed. But like being in the city, we were just in the city today for a barbecue, and just to put my car somewhere, like at this
Hmm.
like my friend's condo, not condo. She has her own house, but like
Hmm.
it's in the city, so you can only park on a certain side of the road a certain time of day. And it's like, what? We have to park far. And just the fact that we have to park far to get to her house, I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
what is
very
going
annoying.
on? Like in the suburbs, I could just park anywhere I want to, right?
Those are the
So
kind of things that are very, very, very frustrating.
it's crazy.
You know, but I mean, I'm glad I'm getting rid of that. Getting out of that, see what this new place has, what its own issues are, and see if it's where we'll stay for long, or if we move to a more conventional place away from New York. Anyways, so but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, you guys.
We're
Honestly,
excited to
once we
visit.
move, like
We're excited to visit.
you guys should definitely come down. Like it will be very, very, very fun. I
We won't
trust
drive,
I
I'm gonna
trust that
tell you
you
that.
won't.
But like, yeah.
Yeah.
we
But
will
yeah,
we
man.
will come visit
But yeah,
for
other than that,
sure.
man, you saw what happened to that UK Health Secretary, that guy, Matt Hancock.
Let me just start first, like by saying that
Shambles right
UK
now.
politics is
It's
is so messy, like so messy. Like I feel like
Yep,
in America it's straightforward. Like it's like straightforward in the context of Democrats,
yep,
Republicans. I don't like you, you don't like me. We make up
yep.
bullshit about each other. We move. But this is like my guy is cheating on his wife
Uh,
and he's a
yep.
health secretary breaking COVID rules, and someone's clearly
But
snitched on
first
him
of all,
and
like
leaked the
I was
footage.
reason I don't know too much about British politics, to be honest with you. So I don't know if he's in the same part. Does everybody in that one party have every position, or do they have mixed, like how different states can have Republican versus Democrat, like states and like governors and stuff like that. Do you have any idea?
Well, so the British parliamentary system is almost, if not exactly the
Yeah,
same
yep.
as, I mean, Canada's inspired by it, right? Obviously. So what
Uh-huh.
happens is he's a conservative, and
Uh-huh.
he's an MP in his own right. Like he has his own, we call
Yeah.
it riding, but your own
Hmm.
locale, and then he represents those people. So when you become an
Certain
MP, you then
posts.
get
Yep.
elected to certain posts. Like the MP for Ajax, I believe, he resigned,
Hmm.
was the finance minister or something like that. Like
Hmm.
they that's how they do it. So he won't be in that
Yep.
position unless he's conservative. Like anyone can be an MP, right?
But the
You can
ruling
vote
party
for
will
whoever
put
you
you.
want, but like
Yeah.
what's his name?
Yeah.
Boris is gonna choose his own
Yeah.
dude to be that guy. So it's just funny that he was the health
Hmm.
and social care secretary, and he breached. Cool. Like I didn't even know it was.
Yep.
To me. That's only the secondary part of this story. When I found that, like, okay, he actually
Early.
breached COVID rules
Yep.
that he made
I,
up
I
himself.
he,
Like,
he's been
but this
very like
dude, it's crazy.
controversial from the beginning of COVID, because apparently he wasn't operating, like he didn't his um his way of taking care of the whole COVID situation in the UK wasn't, like he didn't do well essentially in that assignment, and then he broke the rules himself.
Mm,
So even before all this, he was already like on the rocks. You know what I'm saying, with everybody in the UK government, and then this came out. But it's somehow sure, because that video, I can bet you, is not necessarily new, and somebody has been sitting on it for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And also, like, what's is that his office? And
yeah,
how? Why are there cameras in his office? That's actually fucked up, Sha. And how doesn't he know that there are
that's
cameras in
that's
his
the part I
office?
didn't understand. Are there cameras in
I
everyone's
wouldn't think
office? Like
so.
that,
I
I
mean,
want to
a
know.
place like, okay, for
Like,
instance, a place like the White House, Oval Office, I can imagine has some kind of surveillance. You know what I mean? It has to, because it's the
mhm,
president of the United States. They have to be able to watch him and make sure that he's okay. Do you know what I'm saying? And then obviously they also
right.
record a lot of phone conversations in like White House. So I'd imagine that there's some kind of surveillance in those places. But
Mm,
I mean, he's the health secretary, so I'm guessing that place that he was, was the I don't even know what they call it. Like the was it the parliamentary offices or was it in the head no, Downing Street is only
Downing
for
Street.
the prime minister, and it's a very small.
Yeah, I don't know where the
I
offices
mean,
are.
like like how you have the U.S. Capitol, and that's where all the senators stay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they have a similar thing. If they have that in what's the place where Big Ben is? Parliament, right? That's where it is. That's Parliament, yeah.
I guess so. I have to
Yeah,
go back to London and
yeah.
research.
So
I'm
I think
lost.
it's around that area. That's where they are. But like, so how didn't he know that there's cameras in there? That's a little bit fucked up. If there's cameras, then the people don't know about it. You know what? What else have you caught people doing in there? You know what I'm saying? You know, and how long have they been keeping that video for just to find him? Because apparently, it's not just it's that whole party is being muddied. Like I saw something Gary Neville posted.
Mhm.
Saying something about like it's the opposition that like have ammo against Boris Hancock, and there's another government person that had issues too recently.
Gary is showing conservative
What
tendencies.
do
I
you
don't like
expect? Is a
it.
white man from fucking Manchester. Of course, he has conservative tendencies. Of
I
course, he
don't like
does.
it.
I'm not even surprised at all. I'm not surprised. I'm so all these things that he's trying to do, even with like the FA and like ESL and those kind of things. Everything is very 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 like
Yeah.
a socialist. We must put controls over everything. No what do you call it? No capitalism. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of his view. It seems like
Mhm.
on many things. Even though he's a part owner of a team, but
Yeah. He's looking at
so
it from that angle. Yeah, for sure. I just feel on this guy's issue, like, I feel like there's probably, like you're saying, there were cameras there for a reason. I think everyone probably knew that,
mhm.
from a surveillance. So you have to protect these people, But would he not have known that? Like, it could be a messy thing where maybe the camera was there illegally, whatever. Maybe I'm interested to find out about that. But I think the other side of it is
Damn.
Mans was cheating on his
And
wife.
she was cheating on her husband. He picked her out that she
Like,
left the
oh
pictures
god.
of him leaving his family house, pictures of her leaving her husband's house. Apparently, there's some also news that they're gonna stay together or something. Like it's like
Wait. Did you say we know he was cheating on
she
her?
was married. Yeah,
But are
she
you
was also
saying
married.
that like she was also in an affair?
Like the Gina babe. Yeah, Gina. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
oh, sorry,
yeah,
Gina,
yeah,
Gina,
yeah. So
Gina.
like it's
Okay,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's incredible, man. Like it's the soap opera of the whole thing. Yeah, what Gary Neville says. So
Hmm.
somebody, one Carol something, I'm sure she's an MP, said it's not a resignation, it's an execution. Someone has been sitting on that footage for a long time. So why now? To what end? And then Gary Neville said Hancock, Williamson, and eventually Johnson were always going to be brought down by Mob, Rab, and Gove. I guess that's the opposition party. This is just the start.
God,
It's the worst set of politicians we've ever had in this country. Charlatans. That's what the guy never said.
God, Gary, that's not it, Chief.
Ah!
That's not it, Chief. Not it. It doesn't matter. Like, my guy is doing wrong.
No,
What
but
do you
I
mean they're
mean, clearly,
charlatans? Like, who
obviously, you're right.
cares?
The point is that I
It's
think he is a conservative because if I think Boris's party is the conservatives, right? So he's definitely conservative. So clearly, it's affecting him.
Yeah.
You know. So hey, I mean, let them live. But
Gas.
I'm sure people like him didn't like vote like Brexit or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things he wouldn't necessarily do. I don't think, anyways.
Probably not. Probably not. I'm really curious to see what the fallout is gonna be from this, because you know like I've said this before, but I really struggle to understand what causes somebody
Yeah.
to cheat on their spouse. I don't get it. Like, I get it in the
Mhm.
context of, like, okay, things can be bad, like,
And think
fine,
first before
relationships
you do
can go
anything.
bad, but for yes, like for me to be like, oh, there's this other woman in my office, and
You
like,
know.
were you drunk? Like, maybe I could somehow accept, like, She made a pass, and I was kind of drunk. I couldn't really understand what's going on. Somehow, I can at least make
the
a
thing
case.
is
But
that
this guy's in his
you can't
office from
see
middle of the
yourself
day.
in the normal course of business having flirtatious interactions with anybody in your office. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm thinking about it like at what
Mhm.
point during my day am I finding time to flirt with someone? Like do I should I be that free that I'm flirting office? You know what I'm saying? Like how much time do I have in my and I'm that's why I'm
Exactly.
using personal email to like or company email to like send flirty emails to each other or whatever. I can't. I can't even think about it. And then you're right. If you think something's wrong at home or whatever, it's the same thing as when you were dating in when you were younger. If you don't want me, anyways, it was always a I'll break up with you if it's that bad. Break up,
Hmm.
so I can have a clear mind when I'm
Always,
smashing somebody else.
always.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But to do that and then still
Exactly.
pretend as if everything's okay at home, fam,
When
fam,
man has kids too, like, come on, man.
potential to bring in diseases
That's
from
not it. That's
outside. You know
not
what
a
I'm
good
saying?
look.
Like, because people that do that kind of thing, I'm almost certain that they're not being protective of themselves. You know what I'm saying? So like, God, like
They're not
it's
daft. There's
just
no way.
terrible in general. But hey,
It's really a problem.
yeah.
It's really
Well,
really
I
a
mean,
problem.
he resigned. Did you see his
Um,
resignation video?
but
Honestly.
I'm just here for the tweets and the
He,
memes,
he
fam. I'm
sounds
not
like a
I'm not gonna
dunce.
watch
Like he sounds
these
like he
memes.
sounds terrible. He sounds like a Boris 2.0. He's the kind of person that probably, if nothing like this happened and he went on in his political career, he probably will run for like prime
Mhm.
minister at some point. He's young and he,
He ran for party
oh
leader
really?
before, like
He's young enough
against
where
Boris, and
he
then
probably had
backed out of
aspirations
it.
to do that kind of
Yeah,
thing at some point in the future. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, whatever, man. Let them be living their lives. Boris too. So
it's
Boris
the
wasn't he married before? He's now
uh,
divorced. Now he's dating somebody else.
well, Boris got married in
Oh, to the
secret
baby he was
like
dating.
last
Wasn't he
week or
married
2 weeks
before and
ago.
he get divorced or he's never been married? Yeah.
Boris, I can't see anyone married. Like, I'm even surprised this one married Boris, to be honest. But Boris is, he's prime minister, so I guess he's hot shit right now. But
Yeah,
Boris,
he was.
man,
I think he was
Boris
before.
was married 87 to 93, then married again 93 to
Yeah,
2020.
it's
Oh, it was
recent.
even last year my dude got
Yeah.
divorced. Oh shoot! And then got married again. He has Wikipedia says
Really?
children at least
Oh
six.
shit. Well,
What
the
does that even mean?
first
Because there's
marriage
usually
probably
just a
you can
number.
imagine having three with each wife. I guess maybe there's enough time in between each marriage to have three kids.
The footnote says Johnson has not disclosed how many children he has. He is known to have had 4 children with his second wife, Marina Wheeler, a fifth
Jesus.
child from an extramarital affair with Helen McIntyre, and a sixth child with third wife Carrie Simmons. I think that's the one that he just married. Holy shoot!
Bro,
You guys in UK, you're messy, yeah,
that's
fam.
the messiest government in the world. Like for real. Like I can't imagine that kind of scandal happening in America. Like you can't. America, they'll turn the nose up at you if you're like you have several families.
Huh. My guy wasn't even married at the time. Like, there's no chance you can vote in like
Like
an
for real. Like
unmarried guy.
even
No
like
chance
I'm
in
trying to
America.
think.
It'll never happen.
Obviously, Trump has had what do you call it, divorces before, so that's not strange.
Yeah.
But like for you to be divorced while or very close to, or because even him and what's her name? What's his wife's name again? Uh, Trump's wife. What's her name? Fuck. Melania.
Wow, she's
Melania.
gone. I can't remember
He's
her
been
name.
married to her for over 10 years,
Melania.
right?
I'm
At
gonna say
least since
Marina.
Baron.
God.
Baron is what 13, 14, maybe 15 now. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a long time. So I guess it's a long time spouse, I guess. But and they have a thing for trying to like portray the perfect like family in White House all the time. So you must be married, you know.
Yeah.
No scandals. But this one, you're right. He voted him in as a single man. That's interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, man,
Wow.
that's very interesting. UK government, you guys better fix yourself up on your government and keep
Fam, that's
pushing
your
COVID.
government too.
Yeah, 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 and keep pushing back the freaking COVID opening up dates. And they pushed it back from 21st of June to July 19th now.
Those guys are joking. They're letting like
It should open
50,000
up.
people into
I mean,
Wembley.
things
They
they've
should
not
open up
vaccinated
everything in that country.
appropriately, so I can understand why they haven't done it. But it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. They need to open up because the Game One's wedding is
Yeah,
coming soon. They can't be telling me to go and isolate when I enter London. But, but but yeah, man.
exactly.
I guess we're at a good point. I guess. Um, yeah. Well.
Yep. Yep. I think that's it. I think that's it. We end on
Yeah.
messy
Yeah, man.
governments.
But
I
yeah,
like
it
that.
was a
I
good one,
like that.
bro. Thank you for being patient with me all week. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. But you guys have a
All
good
good,
night.
bro.
Everyone
All good.
enjoy. We're back in full effect, and hopefully in the next few weeks we will both have new equipment and even more better quality and stuff like that. So, oh, I tried to see if I could use my
Exactly.
camera. I don't think I can. It's too old and it's too. It's not a true DSLR,
Oh, okay.
and it's very old. So I don't think it's possible.
Oh,
But
okay.
like I said, I got a webcam as part of the screens I bought. It's part of the package. One of the packages I bought. It had a webcam, two
Mm.
screens with the. Are your screens mounted like on an arm?
Yeah, one of them's on an arm. I only have one screen mounted
Oh,
on an
okay. Oh,
arm,
you
and then the
use only
other I
two
just have a
screens.
stand
Your
for my
laptop on
laptop.
one
So
screen.
yeah,
Yeah, I love.
Y- yeah,
I love it.
yeah. I was
I love a
thinking of
clean
getting another
screen.
one, but
I'm, oh,
mounted.
I bought
I'm
I
tired.
bought one of those like HDMI splitters with input output, like a reversal. You can reverse it. So what I'm gonna do is use one
Hmm.
for Mac inputs and laptop inputs, and then to go into like two going
Hmm.
into one, and then there'll be one output, and then plug that output into an input
Hmm.
and output into the screen, so I can switch
For the
between
PC.
my laptop, my Mac, and my laptop. You know what I mean? So hopefully it works. I think it should work, but
Mm.
so I can't wait to set up my
That's gonna be
computer.
fresh. It's gonna be
You know,
fresh.
another thing with moving, right? We're not guaranteed it to arrive when we're there. Like we may have to wait an extra week. The initial people that we booked with
Huh.
said that they can get to there by the 2nd of July. But these people now they said it's anywhere one to 14 days. So we may be there. Exactly. We may have
Fam,
to
you
get a
guys might sleep
mattress.
on. You know, you guys
Exactly.
might be
Yeah,
in
so
a
it's gonna be
hotel
it's
or a
gonna be crazy,
mattress.
but yeah, we'll figure it out. So, but yeah, man. All right, bro. Have a good
Wow.
night. I'll keep you posted on what's going on with the move and
Uh,
stuff. But everyone have a good night.
yes, sir.
Bro, repeat everyone
Yes,
for me,
sir.
okay?
You too.
We'll do.
We'll
Peace.
do.
Welcome to the talk show.